I got played out of those back then. It's like, all right, I did this, I'm done, and it becomes a professional sport while I'm gone.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But no, it's seriously 100%. It's absolutely free. Like I said, the only thing you have to pay for is skins and boards and stuff like that, like different cosmetic features. You always have your gods of the week, so
Are we going up right now?
we're actually live.
Surprise.
Surprise!
Surprise.
But yeah, so
Yeah, you
no.
should fix it because it says that you just went live with the road to level 30, day 6.
Oh, I need to fix that. I do need to fix that. No.
Like, we went live and I
Hello,
see
ladies
the
and
road to
gentlemen.
level 30, and I'm like, is Kat playing Smite while we're doing the podcast?
Yes, totally.
Yeah, me neither.
Well,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is
I
Smite.
might wear a very special,
This is what Kat's been doing the whole time.
The commentary.
Doing
It's
this.
the commentary. Channel. Edit.
Head is so cold right now. I feel like covering my beanie.
No, not what I wanted. Edit. There we go. I don't even know what podcast we're on.
Make up an arbitrary 12-digit number.
Arbitrary 12 digit. Go to our YouTube page and find it.
Oh, I'm just like, whatever. I just put /chat
That
podcast.
works.
We're good. Okay. So,
New episode covers it all.
So yes. Hello guys, welcome to /chat podcast. Even though we went live like 10 minutes ago.
This is 17, by the way.
Oh, this is 17? I'll change it later. I already closed it out.
XVII.
Actually, it's sad. We went back to gaining a host, but then we lost a host. So, sad face. Sad face. But we have Cardinal back. Woohoo! Yay, Cardinal!
Woo!
Yay! So, we actually don't have Jeremy today, sad face, but he will be joining us again next week. Not sure what Cardinal's schedule is. This might be like the first week of this month in general. We might see him.
It's looking a little bit more open for the moment.
Okay.
There's been a
For the
little bit of
moment.
a drop in protester activities.
Okay.
Yes.
So, as always for all of our podcasts, we are going to do our introductions and tell you what we've been playing this week or what we've been doing this week. And as always,
Is playing.
been playing. So, we will go with Alex. Tell us what you do, who you are, what you did this week.
Who am I? I don't know.
Who am I?
Nah, I'm Alex Merrick, and it's been a bit of a subdued kind of week. I haven't been playing too many games. I haven't been working on videos. It's sort of just been, because my part-time job, I get a lot of hours, but haven't really had too much time to do anything other than that. I've been trying to sneak in some anime late at night, and I'm still hooked on Log Horizon, and it's kind of getting into the part where it's getting very political.
Yes.
And I noticed that a lot of the RPG style has started taking it, because we're balancing between the RPG, the battles, and then we have all of these strategists like Shiroe and Krusty, which is why does he have a name like that? He doesn't look. A character that looks like him should not be named Krusty. It's weird to me. But they're doing this big plan to talk with the people of the land, and I'm thinking there's a lot of political intrigue going in here. But overall, I'm starting to feel like we're getting distant from the main character, the Log Horizon Guild, and it kind of throws me off a little bit, because I'm like, I want to see more of the people from the beginning, but I know that this is the first season of something that's going to have a second season later, and it's also going to. We're getting to a bigger scene. I'm clear as day. So I'm still hooked on it. I mean, I'm not disliking it. I just noticed that some of the tone kind of shifted really quick. And I noticed that, there are some twists. Like, I just finished one episode and there was a really big twist that I did not see coming. I probably should have, but I didn't. And I like that. That surprised me, and I think it was a good writing. In fact, when I was out getting food, I was listening to the Super Best Friends cast, which is the Two Best Friends Play podcast, and they were ripping Sword Art Online apart. Like, they were just saying, "Oh, Kirito is such a Mary Sue," and
Starting to look more like a Mary Sue now too.
I know,
yeah, he
right?
does. I haven't started the second season, but I really feel like I should, because I hear that he's now is. There was the part where all those people in Sword Art Online, all the people die, because they get killed in the game, and then in the second half, there's a completely new MMO that no one has any problem with joining.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that after they all died in the first one, why are we? That doesn't make sense, and I never noticed that until they brought it up. So at the same time, I know that I was sort of burnt out on the second season. I mean, not the second season, but the second half of the first season of Sword Art Online, simply because, like, where did Asuna go? She completely disappeared from the entire focus, and it was like, oh.
Well, no, technically she
She's
was
like
the
the goal.
focus.
She was there, but she didn't do
the
anything.
goal of the game. That's
It all
Yeah.
talked about Sugu, and she's an interesting character, but where'd Asuna go? She's the damsel in distress, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but she wasn't the damsel in distress in the first part, not at all.
Ironically, most of the promotion for the second season of Sword Art Online is like of the sniper girl. So
Yeah.
Oh
it's like,
yeah, I've
this
seen
is
all
like Kirito building his
Harem.
harem. He's building
He's
his harem.
building a
His
harem.
harem's
That's
big
what
enough
he's.
as it is. Why does he need more? He's
But
clearly not interested in
It'll
that.
always be
well,
bigger.
that's the thing. That's actually the thing, because it deviates from your typical harem anime where he picked one. That never ever happens. And there's points in the new season where everyone's like, "Oh God, they're being cutesy again," and all the
Yeah.
girls are like,
Oh my god, it's so like,
Because they
oh my
totally
god,
want
they love
him,
each other so
but
much. It's
they
like
all, yeah.
it's a freaking high school couple, and I know they're like, oh, I love you too, I'll do anything. I'm like, okay, that we get it. I just thought that I felt like in the second half of the first season, Asuna was such an afterthought, and after the build-up they did in the first half, I'm like, you can't go and do that. That just throws everyone off. And I think they said something on the Friendcast that's like, perception is reality, which means that if there is a perceived incest, it's probably incest. And
They
they
had to
brought up
speak-
no game, no life.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
I like that though. That was a thing. Like they flat out canonly said, yeah, that almost happened, but he turned her down,
I
Yeah.
know.
and then they moved on.
And I'm like, they're just taking. I mean, the friends were like, yeah, Sword Art Online it's disorienting, and perception is reality. So I think that Log Horizon is just better because it doesn't. It's a little more straightforward. It has more of the political. It has more of the. It just seems more. It doesn't try to confuse you. I know that's kind of weird to say, but it knows what it's doing and it does what it does. It doesn't try to flower it up. It knows where the focus lies. At the same time, I wish Akatsuki was on camera more because she's hilarious.
She's so
But,
adorable.
I know, and Henrietta knows that better than everyone. So between that, and I also had a Twitch stream last night. It was I played one of my favorite games ever, and it's probably my favorite indie game ever, called The Dishwasher Vampire Smile.
Wait,
the-
what?
I've played that. The dishwasher is so
Very
good.
strange name.
And
What's it about?
it's an action game. It has sort of this dark gothic art style, kind of like Roman Dirge or Jonan Vasquez, and super bloody, super gory. And It's only on 360 right now. It's going to get a Steam release soon,
Really?
but right now it's
Awesome.
only on 360. This is my favorite indie game ever, and it's on 360, and that's crazy. It's basically it's like what I can call it. It's if Platinum Games made a 2D game, because it's has this very very fluid action-packed combat. It's like Devil May Cry 2D, and I love
That's
it.
exactly why I like it. Yeah.
I love it so much just because they give you all these options. You can like shotgun blast someone like from above them. You can jump over someone and shotgun blast them downward. You can use cleavers. You can use the Cloud Sword. It's really called the Cloud Sword because it's a Buster Sword. And it's just it's so good. It's such good combat. And I played it on the Twitch stream last night. About 3/4 of the way through the stream, I realized that the game audio wasn't playing. So I needed to fix that, and I fixed it. That's why the whole stream's not on my YouTube channel. It was the first time I did a real stream. The last stream I did was just me playing Sonic Heroes and just commentating. I didn't have a face cam or anything. And it was lots of fun. Just a friend of mine joined, a friend of mine named Sam from GameSpot. He sat in, listened to me yammer on about how the 360 really doesn't have any good exclusives anymore because they're all on other systems. And it was great, and I'm trying to do that I'm going to think about doing this every week, every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what I'm going to play next week. We'll find out then. So that's really what I've been doing.
Nice.
Anime and streaming.
Awesome.
And Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
So that's me. Next.
Cardinal, what have you been doing while you disappeared?
What have I not been doing? Since I got back, it's just been every game I can get my hands on. Minecraft, obviously, because I love that game. Back on the Skyrim, Borderlands 2 with some mates, even live streamed it a couple times. Payday 2, I found it as a really amazing game. You basically just get to steal shit, it's fun. What was I doing while I was away? A whole lot of nothing. I was working 14-hour shifts for like every day in -degree weather on top of machines, making sure people don't destroy them while everyone else is sleeping. So it was boring and cold, and I'm just like this for a very long time. So I had nothing. I was so bored. Sitting there going, I wonder what those guys are doing tonight, you know? Like, it'll be come time when the podcast comes around, I'll be like, man, that would be so much fun to do right now. It was so bad. God, what else were we doing? Went into the city to play some actual tabletop D&D with some people, which is good. I'm doing that again, technically today, if I can manage to get up. Last few days, I've had almost no sleep at all. It's just cans of energy drink all over my desk. It's just no sleep because I don't know when I'll be able to have my normal life back. So get what I can while I can. Yeah, but I mean that's basically me in like a small nutshell. Caught up on some anime stuff as well that I've been meaning to watch, and I started watching No Game in Your Life. I'm pretty sure I'm up to date with that. Didn't expect me to like it as much as I do, and I'm just like, that's actually kind of an awesome anime.
Nice.
I got to, not to spoil anybody else, but I got up to when he's basically just first bet the race piece, which is interesting. So I'm not sure how much, if there is anything else after that yet. Don't know. Apparently somebody wants the poster that's behind me. I have your chat and pop out.
Yep. Nano says he wants that poster.
It's the Sanctum 2 poster from the limited edition box set dealio.
Sanctum 2, the game?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's good art.
I love that game. It's a nice little tower defense game. I like it. God, what are my plans for the future? More live streaming. Got my internet working. Thank God. I've been back for 2 weeks and haven't had it for a week. So I'm just like, no, give me my internet.
Horrible.
Yeah, without it for, basically I had to do it for 6 weeks. So I'm just like, oh God, no. Going nuts over here. a couple times I talked to Alex on my tablet because he's the only one that's usually around on Steam, just like, oh my god, man, I'm so bored, help me. You'll probably remember because I probably bugged the shit out of him.
I'm sorry that I'm like, if I had known that I was the only one.
Well, I didn't mean it like that, but I mean
I have a friend who
I'm glad someone-
who talks more on Steam than you do, so don't think that you're bothering me.
Well, you just opened a floodgate, my friend.
Oh, shit.
Just gonna be going,
Me in my big mouth.
That's me. The plans are uncertain, but more streaming. So
Nice.
yes.
So, Raytog, what have you been doing this week?
I've been doing pretty much the same thing that I do every week, which is a lot of work, dealing with newscasts and whatnot. Also dealing with the end of the World Cup, which is full of lots of hilarious jokes.
Wait,
End of the
what?
World Cup? Like
The
the
World Cup.
Apocalypse Cup?
No, like
I know.
The
Like
end
that.
of the World Cup.
like
Oh,
that.
for a second
Well,
there,
it
I thought-
finished. That was good though. Yes,
That was really
Apocalypse
clever.
Cup.
Yeah, I like
That
that.
was really
Nice.
clever, by the way.
That should be the name. That should be the name of the episode.
End of the World Cup.
The end
Yeah.
of the World Cup.
Dot, dot, dot,
Some people
cup.
will take it the way we did, and some people will just like, World Cup. Okay.
So
I'm just sitting here thinking that would be an interesting show.
It would.
All the different end of the world competing. What is the worst or the best?
well, so a lot of that happening. That was a lot of news that I didn't need, and a lot of drunk people because of that. Because Germany,
Yes.
lots of that.
So who won?
Germany,
Germany.
They did.
which is actually kind of a big thing because apparently it's almost always the South American countries that win,
Right.
and any European country hasn't won in a long time. And America got further than they normally did, so America
Huh.
actually got interested in the World Cup for the first time in like 10
Australia
years.
didn't get very far
Yeah.
on the tier.
For a while, all I was seeing on Twitter was jokes insulting Brazil.
That was a big thing.
Yeah,
That was
it
a really big thing because Germany stomped the living hell out of them. Like,
Oh god, yeah.
to give you an idea, and it's the internet, alright? So, somebody put the Brazil-Germany game, just the video of the whole game, they uploaded it to Pornhub. And
I
they
heard
tagged,
about that.
and they tagged it as rape.
I
That
heard
is
about
hilarious.
that.
What?
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh my
if you go on
God.
YouTube and type anything like Germany, you'll probably see a parody. My favorite was probably, I probably can't find it right now, but there was a 10-second summary of how the Brazil-Germany game went. And it's this little picture of like a little martini glass. It's got the Brazil logo on it, and it's all like Happy Brazil music. And this giant German stein full of beer comes down and
Yeah.
smashes it. It was good.
Wow.
It was lots of jokes all over the place. So that got finished. What else did I do? I caught the second episode of Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, I still haven't.
You see, don't feel so bad because I'm not really sure how this is going now. The first
Well.
episode got me really excited and really happy about it. But then the second episode makes me realize I'll probably want to wait for this in the first place. Lots and lots of censorship.
That sucks.
Because for a while, anime could air in Japan uncensored. It's not really that big a deal. New laws got passed like last year, so a lot of shows changed themselves so that they wouldn't, do too much. But this show didn't because it's a horror show, and they went balls to the walls with it. So there's like a law that says you can only have so much red on the screen at
Yeah.
once.
Interesting.
And there's like a point where this dude there's a lot of red on the screen at
Right.
one time, and to get around it, they like inverted the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So it's a
Well-
weird. It fits the law, but it doesn't actually prevent you from seeing what's happening. So it's a technical thing. But
Okay.
there were
Right.
other bits, like, apparently it is also part of the law that you can't actually show the face of a dead person.
Correct.
So,
Hmm.
this show, there's points where, well, I'm pretty sure the severed head of somebody gets lopped into the lead character's lap and then he freaks out. Catches you can't see any of it because it's almost all blacked out in shadow. So, like,
Mhm.
Huh.
if, like, my face was the whole screen, you could see this much.
Hmm.
Like, the top of his hair.
Right.
That's all you could see. It was almost a whole blacked out screen, and you could still hear the audio, which kind of has an okay effect, but it's like, you're not actually going to be able to see this whole show until it's released on DVD.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that does.
Well, sorry, I was gonna say, because I watched just recently Duncan Rompa, and their blood and gore effects are bright pink. And I would
that's how you get around
rather,
it.
I was gonna say, I'd
Yeah.
rather have it where it was kind of a black and white scenario where it just looked black than having it look bright freaking pink. Because, I mean, I understand this is blood, splatter, like, it's pink. Wait, it's pink? Like,
They
I don't
did-
know.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that good. I know why they did it artistically because I edit for a living, and immediately after, like right after the gore happened in that scene where they inverted the colors, the actual show itself inverts the colors when he's going into like a post Berserker Rage days. So they just inverted the colors and then it inverted again over top of it, so it looked sort of like, if you didn't know any better, it was just an artistic style, but it wasn't. So
Right.
the story's not bad, but I'm not sucked into it yet. So this actually gave me second thoughts. So I'm gonna keep following it, but we'll see how it goes.
Give it the
Interesting.
4 episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
4
the
episode
idea.
If you're
rule.
not sold by the 4th episode, it's probably not worth your time. Because how many episodes is it? Do we know?
Deuce.
I mean, how many episodes total?
I think it's
It's
12.
Oh, I don't know.
Like 25, 26? Usually that's the season length or something.
Yeah, it's usually.
I haven't actually researched that one yet, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we'll
was
give
gonna
it
say-
4 episodes. If you're not
Yeah.
sold on it by the 4th episode, you're probably not going to be sold on it.
The third one might
Cool.
be out by now, but I haven't checked it out yet. What else have I been up to? 2 things because of work I got to see, but since those are television related, I'm going to save those puppies for my segment. But I got to see 2 really neat horror shows. And
The
they
Strain
was
is one of them.
The Strain is one of them. Did you see it?
No, but my sister and her boyfriend who love that stuff, like her boyfriend's a big fan of Del Toro and any kind of sci-fi
Yep.
vampire thing. He thought it was good.
I'll go into it when I get there, but and Wildstar, a
Yep.
lot of that. So that was what I've been up to for the week.
Okay, so
Yeah, we
you
can
guys.
just skip Cats because we know what she's been doing.
I was gonna say,
Not
you
tonight.
guys know. Well, I have to fix my camera really quick. There we go. When I was going on my rants about ESO, well, I found my new obsession, which is Smite. So yeah, I literally just started last Wednesday, and it's one of those systems that have like the rank systems, and so I'm still in like normal, but you go up to like level 30. I'm already like levels 15, 16, so yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on it, and I'm hopefully going to hit 30 by the end of the month. That is currently my goal. So last night I did pretty much nearly a 20-hour stream of it, and I was streaming for a little bit this morning. So hi guys that I was streaming with earlier today. Hello. Probably people are lurking in the chat channel, being like, "Yeah, we played with you earlier today." So hi. But yeah, anime-wise, I didn't really watch too much this week. I watched the update of Sword Art Online. What was the other one? And the Irregular Magic High School. but I haven't really watched much more of the new season because there's not really much that like grabbed my attention. It was just like, okay, so I really wish they'd come out with like a new action anime. Like, what is it? Kagami Ga Kill looks really good. I watched the first. I think I watched the second episode. It looks really good. I'm into it so far, but I'm like waiting for the shoe to drop kind of scenario. So I don't know. There's not been much on this summer season that I'm like really hyped for. So sad face. But oh well. So hopefully they come up with something. Like Crunchyroll's having difficulties right now with getting like newer stuff in, and a lot of Funimation again. A lot of controversy with what's going on with Funimation, and it's just like. So, I like I said, I will save that for news as well. So we can jump right into that if we would like, unless anyone wants to say anything more about their week. No, silence, silence, silence.
Are we gonna like throw down a deep four to see who goes first? One of those things.
We quick, rock, paper, scissors. The sad part about it, I think Carthnell will have an advantage because he lags.
Ha!
Would that give you the advantage? Because I would see it as often you've done it. Actually, that would do it. Yeah,
The
never mind.
stream
I
would
would
be
be like,
different.
yes.
Stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't play rock, paper, scissors. So we're just gonna make Alex go first, as always.
Ah!
So
First
tell us
week.
what your news is and what news of this week.
First of all, I just found out that they updated the 2K Humble Bundle. And they found out what the new game, what the more games are going to be, and it's XCOM: The Complete Pack, which is all of these old XCOM games. You got Apocalypse, Enforcer, Interceptor, Terror from the Deep, and UFO Defense. So if you like XCOM,
I was hoping for something different.
yeah, I thought it would be one of the Borderlands games, or there was one other thing. What's something that 2K does all the time? Oh, I'm just now thinking like, wow, they didn't put like a Grand Theft Auto thing in there. That's kind of weird because I know that 2K does Grand Theft Auto. Oh wait, PC versions of Grand Theft Auto are usually not that good unless you like mods.
Mm-hmm.
So that's if you like. I paid $20 because I wanted BioShock Infinite and XCOM: Enemy Unknown. So if you pay more than the average, you're gonna get 5 more old school XCOM games. So I'm kind of disappointed there because I expected another 2K game. There was like one other that I thought would be in there that wasn't Borderlands. Another 2K game that is pretty popular. Whatever. It's still worth it just for the BioShock game, so I'll go for that. That Flash bundle just ended. Scouring my news portals to see if there's anything new or interesting. If you like Smash Brothers, they put a bunch of Fire Emblem characters in Smash Brothers. It's kind of neat because I didn't even know that there were that many characters in Fire Emblem that were worth anyone's time. Maybe it's because I'm not too familiar with Fire Emblem. There was some. It was the Evo was this past weekend, so there was a lot of news related to fighting games. I know they announced like Tekken 7 and something else that I forgot. And one thing I noticed that ever since E3 is that game leaks are usually make the game companies announce a game, because this kind of happened around the time that Bloodborne was just Project Beast. If you don't know what Project Beast is, it was rumored to be the next From Software game, and they make Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and another game that's really, really good called Lost Kingdoms for the GameCube. If you haven't heard about that, it's like an RPG where you have these like cards. Yeah, this was made during the whole card game boom of the early 2000s, when everyone was interested in cards. Like,
yep.
That time between the Pokemon card game and the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, And everyone wanted to do that around the time like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories came out.
Yep,
We all fell for that.
I did. I
Everyone did.
played Pokemon. Oh wait, well, I played Pokemon. I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I played. So those were my 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
Magic the Gathering is still going because that was
Hell yes, it is.
that always
To the coast, it'll never die probably.
yeah, I always thought of Magic the Gathering to be the outsider because it was, I think it was popular before
Yeah.
the card game fad happened,
Yeah.
and it's still going on and people still like it. So it's kind of
Oh,
the
yeah.
dark horse, the one that came before but survived, I guess.
And it's also not linked to an anime yet.
Unless you count Duel Masters, which was based on Magic the Gathering. Well, the card game
It's
in
nothing
Duel
sacred.
the
It's
card
nothing.
game in Duel Masters was an original idea, but it was very heavily influenced by Magic the Gathering. Very heavily. With the mana and the oh god, that was such a bad anime.
There is a Magic manga about Chandra and Jace.
There's also a couple of books, which
Yeah.
I have.
I knew that
So
there
I-
were novels.
Yeah, that's why I always
Yeah.
set Magic the Gathering aside because it never really fit in with the others. And they're still making Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. They're still making the anime and cards, and I'm like, calm down, guys. I think you kind of had your run there.
Yeah, but there's still like plenty of people who play it, and for I think it was called Vanguard or something like that, which
Oh,
was
I heard about that.
a new kind of from Japan card game, and it's been running recently actually too. So I mean, there's still a lot of people, especially the kids of like this generation, who are like, hey, this is what Pokemon cards are. And my nephew is huge into Pokemon cards. And I'm like, every single time I like go over to their house and he's like, here's Pokemon cards, look at my Pokemon cards. And I'm like, oh my god, I remember when I was that young and I was doing
I remember when
Pokemon.
I
Oh
was
dear
your
god.
age and I played Pokemon cards.
I was just like, what?
I still have all my cards in my basement somewhere. They're just sitting somewhere in a box, and I don't know what to do with them. I'll sell them at one point because I don't know what to do with
I have
them.
about 5 Magic card decks in my immediate vicinity. I still play it too much.
Nice.
You play like Yu-Gi-Oh online because that's what I do.
My brother is very highly ranked in Queensland too, so I think he said
Card
last
game.
I noticed was 11th in the country for here, so it's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Holy shit.
Yeah,
And
he's somewhere
so-
on he's like 300 in the world scale or something, but I don't know, 3.
Well,
I'm not nearly that good.
Wait. Let's sit down and consider for a second. How many people are in Australia and how many actually play the game?
Hopefully Australia are somewhere around the 40-something million. I can play the game, probably like a couple million.
Okay.
Least.
I was gonna say, because if it was a case situation where it was like, oh, well, only 1,000
Like,
play the
right,
game.
14, and there's about 30 people that play. It's not that bad, but we don't know the demographics here, man.
So it's not bad, I will admit. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty awesome.
So the Lost Kingdoms was made by the people who would eventually make Demon's Souls, and it's a great game. It's sort of a real-time RPG, lots of fantasy elements. It's actually a really good game, and I worked pretty hard to find it after I think I got it during the Wii era, and I'm like, God, I played this game as a kid. I want to play it again. And I found it, and I got it, and it's good. So, oh yeah. Okay, the reason I got on that is because when Project Beast was leaked, when Arkham Knight was leaked, when Metal Gear Solid 5 was leaked, this was right before E3, so Sony had to show all of it because this leak forced them to show this stuff because they're like, now everyone knows what it is. And the worst part of this,
Assassin's Creed Unity.
well, yeah.
Same
I mean,
thing.
the worst part of them being forced to announce these things is that we already know about it because it leaked. So it's nothing
like,
too
why did they
special to
bother?
us. So leaks are bad for two reasons. It forces the company to announce it, and it doesn't even makes the announcement completely pointless because we already know about it. So I just think that it just makes everything just sort of, and that's what happened at Evo. I'm trying to think if there's any other big news that's not related to fighting games, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really play many fighting games because I'm not good at them. I played Smash Brothers, that's it, and some people were like, it's not a real fighting game. Street Fighter, Tekken, Blaze, okay, fine.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat really isn't too big of a professional fighting game. So
I played a lot of Guilty Gear. That's my game.
really technical stuff. I am not good at that.
I like
It's gotta be
Guilty Gear.
I think it's great, and I played Blaze Blue, which was made by the people who made Guilty Gear, but you gotta be good at it, because those online lobbies are full of people who play it religiously.
Well, of course.
I'm not good at fighting games. I remember when I don't know if I told you, but when I played Soul Calibur 5, I just chain grabbed everyone with Ezio, and I got an angry message from someone. Like, I would play online, and because Ezio has his throw, grab them, throw them. Right when they get back up, I throw them again, and I just do it until they win. And then I got like 5 victories in a row doing it. And eventually someone knew that, oh, if you grab them at the same time, you can block their grab. And before that, I got a message from someone on Xbox Live saying, don't use grabs, use skill. And I'm thinking, if you had skill, you would have known that you could have blocked my grab by grabbing back. So maybe you just suck at my loophole there, pal. So that's like,
exploitation, and good on you, because that's what you found.
A pro would know how to defend against that if you're good enough. But these people, it was funny because I'm like, you could have done something about that, and I have proof because the person who ended my streak was able to defeat me. So good for that person. And I'm trying to think of if there's anything related to like JRPGs or regular RPGs or anything. Maybe I should look on IGN instead, not N4G, because that's all bullshit editorials. Sony, that's nothing.
Someone didn't do his homework.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. See, I did it. Let me just get it all together, because I did it. I did it. God, nothing's going on this week. I'm not seeing any good news. I'm not seeing any good news in the news that I scoured for, because I worked on it before.
Yeah. It's totally not just now looking for everything.
Right, right, totally.
There really isn't anything. It's really just like Evo news, and I know if aside from the Smash characters, there really isn't too much. So I guess Sony might want to get Crash Bandicoot from Activision, even though they really don't have the power to do so because they have no money.
They're going to try and bring back Crash Bandicoot, of all things.
Well, the thing is, Activision has rights to it after Crash started not being important to them and after Naughty Dog quit on Crash. So, everyone's like, why don't you make another Crash game or a Spyro game? And there's like, well, they don't own it. But everyone's saying, Sony, get Crash back from Activision. They're not doing anything with it. And, I think that would be okay because both are good series, but at the same time, I'm like, that's really not up to Sony. That's up to Activision, and Activision are a bunch of assholes. So I just think, one other thing that happened is that Neversoft is no more. The company.
I saw a picture of that. Like, they set their logo on fire.
Yeah, Neversoft was going to be absorbed into Infinity Ward, which made the Call of Duty games, the Modern Warfare parts, not Treyarch who made Black Ops. So Neversoft is no more, and I think that's kind of sad because Neversoft made good games, and the
So
reason
are
a lot
they
of
now never hard?
pretty much you and your puns. Ugh.
Ooh. Minus 50 DKP.
You're not the
I mean,
raid leader.
I
I,
just
won't
think
listen
that-
to you.
Neversoft was dragged down with Activision because once they started releasing a Tony Hawk game every year, everyone hated Activision, and Neversoft was kind of dragged down with them. Same thing with the Guitar Hero thing. And Neversoft were good developers. They were just forced to make a game every year, or in the case of Guitar Hero, make 4 games every year. Because 2009 had 4 Guitar Hero games, all made by Neversoft. It's crazy. So they're no more, which is sad because they were good. There really isn't anything too much else. I guess people want Crash Bandicoot back and just sort of nostalgia based. So that'll end the game news. Cause so for now, just go to the Humble Bundle. That's really all I can say right now.
When
Cardinal.
are you not going to the Humble Bundle?
What?
So I get off-topic news. Should I talk
You
about
get
just
off-topic
anything I
news.
want?
Yep.
I will some personal off-topic news. I'm officially bringing back the D&D online sessions because I fucking love that shit. I'm gonna be around
Woohoo!
often. So yes, I will run those. All of you are invited.
Depending
might
on if they're
actually
not
do
like
it.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Might
6
actually-
o'clock in the
we can
morning.
reorganize the time because my work schedule is shifting more towards when you guys are normally awake. So.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well,
more
those
personal
guys.
news.
So what are we talking
So-
here? 3.5 Pathfinder what?
Well, see, this can be up for debate. Normally, I run 3.5 games. Recently, I've been running some 4th edition games, and I've just learned Pathfinder. So, you got 3 choices. Count them.
I vote for
3.
either 3.5
Yeah, so-
or Pathfinder.
Yeah.
That's my
They're
vote.
all
Most people don't like 4.
3.5 and Pathfinder are almost the same game anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which is why I like it so much, I think.
yeah.
I've played it twice, Pathfinder. It's from what I've seen, it seems pretty similar.
There's a few interesting differences, but for the most part, yeah, it's all follows the same basic premises. A few things to
Yeah.
make things like move faster and make more sense,
Mhm.
like the combat maneuver stuff and all that. But other than that, it's all the same.
And so far, I've liked some of the wording. The first character I used was a pre-made, and it just had rebuke death, and I just went, "Yep, that's fine." No, not rebuke undead, rebuke death. I use that to my advantage all over the place. Committed to running the game. Already started writing a couple of adventures. The one I'm writing at the moment is going to be freaking awesome if I get it the flow sort of right. I'm having trouble with it, but I'm doing my best. More personal news. I'm sort of going into business for myself, at least part-time, to pick up some slack, earn some more money, be able to be also gaming and being online personality more. So 2 sides of that are also good. Let's see. Australian local news. Fucking New South Wales finally beat Queensland in fucking state of origin. It's been 8 years.
Nice.
8 goddamn years. And I didn't get to see it. I'm so pissed. The one time I don't watch it, we win. Like,
So it's no
normally
longer
we
random
lose,
news.
so-
It's just going to be Australian news.
Yes.
Australian
Because
that's
how
like
else are we
another-
gonna get Australian news?
Yes.
Like,
How many strange, horrifying animal deaths have there been today?
That place
Today.
is full of creatures. I see those cracked articles. There's so many monster creatures in Australia,
Yes.
and they're everywhere.
There are.
It's where Pokemon come from.
Well, in that case, I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to go there if it has Pokemans.
Well, we do have lots of pocket-sized monsters that you can come and have a look at.
That are evil monster bugs.
monster
Exactly.
bugs, palmetto
Very much
bugs.
so.
Oh dear God, the palmetto
Sandworms.
bugs.
Like you find a poisonous scorpion in your pocket. There's a pocket monster for you.
I think you'd be more likely to find some spiders that could kill you in a single bite.
Oh, this is
But,
scary.
whatever.
Said spiders and you made her disappear.
I had to go get
Oh, let's
pudding.
see. Sports news. We got completely
Where's she
fucking
going?
stomped in the World Cup. Like, completely stomped. Not even, it's like, just no. Just no.
I thought
Don't even
Kat
need to talk
said she
about
was
it.
getting
Everybody got stomped in the World Cup.
I legitimately thought
Oh.
Kat said she was going to get pudding.
That's what I thought too. Did you not say that?
Oh,
got
she
pudding.
did say it. Okay. I thought you were going to go get it. I didn't know it was right there next to you.
I have my mini fridge.
She comes prepared.
That's smart. Watch out, there might be a nasty spider in your pudding.
Thanks.
She checked.
Oh,
She
no.
checked.
She
Good
checked.
idea.
That's really what we were trying to make her do.
Well, actually, I'm opening it.
In,
I have to check.
in weird
Remember that
shows,
time that there was a mummified
Cardinal.
bat that someone found in their cereal box?
Hey, we're on Cardinal.
Maybe.
Cardinal is giving us weird news.
In weird news, there is a massive spree of people just stabbing each other all across the fucking country.
What?
What is wrong
Stabbing
with you
this.
Australian folks?
Stabbings in schools. Some guy walked into a mall and stabbed somebody he knew to death and just stood there being like, "Urgh." There was, oh my god, all of there's something like, I think there was 14 of them in one day, just all across the country, people just stabbing each other all over the place. Really strange.
What is wrong with your
Like,
country?
people went
Yeah,
fucking
what she said.
crazy.
Was
It
this
was
in the same
weirdest goddamn
day?
Yes, it
In the
was.
same day, but in
How many
different
people?
cities all over.
It was just everyone
There was
decided.
something like 14 plus stabbings that in that
Oh my
one day.
God.
In isolated areas all over the place, just the same day, 14 odd people just decided to go stab somebody else?
Yep.
Oh my
And in some
god.
cases, multiple
What?
people.
See, this kind of leads into one of the movies I was going to talk about, because The Purge is going to come out, and this sounds an awful lot like that.
It does. It does.
But oh my god, it was just like, what the hell? I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is wrong with people?
They synchronized their watches for the stabby purge.
It's gotta be. And it was
Luckily,
for,
you're
like,
a
the
hermit.
Stupidest reasons too.
What?
Really?
Like all the people that they managed to talk to was just like the stupidest shit. Like
Luckily,
what the
you're a
hell?
hermit and you're not part of that public
Were there any
society.
deaths? Or were they just
There were
assaults?
quite a few. There were a lot of. Most of them died. And a lot
That's
of
scary,
some
man.
of-
That's
some
scary.
of the people were children, unfortunately.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's messed
Yeah.
up.
That's a really
It is,
easy way
yeah.
to ruin everyone's day, Cardinal.
Yes. Well, you know,
Share the
Australian
most
news,
depressing
that's
story
the
ever.
biggest thing. You're welcome. Now I go
Thanks.
And just remember, kids, Australia's dangerous. If it's not the
Stay away
animals,
from
them.
someone will stab you. Almost launched the pudding. Almost had it.
Oh. So yeah, if you do come to Australia, get your vaccinations and stay in the main city. Preferably on the North
Wear
Shore.
freaking metal
Probably.
armor so you don't get stabbed.
I have that. I will.
Yes.
Don't think that I won't.
I just want to see like a guy in knight armor just standing in the middle of the jungle.
Jungles. We don't have jungles here. You crazy?
No.
Okay, out back.
Also, that would be really, really hot.
I know,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
wouldn't get stabbed.
Oh no, you just have like a snake crawl up like
They
one
crawl
of the
up.
things in the armor. You're like, and you can't get it out. It takes like 15 minutes to get out of the goddamn thing.
You just see like
Oh,
a guy
right.
standing there, and then the snake, and he just starts shaking.
Kill him that way.
Go get out!
Crush him between the armor
100%
plates.
Weird for animals. I got the shit scared out of me by a pack of kangaroos while I was working.
I have randomly heard a human being say that sentence. Bucket list. Check.
Are you serious, David? Did that really happen?
Yes.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I'm standing on top of a fucking bulldozer that's designed to take down heaps of trees, and I hear like twigs and stuff snap. So I get off because it's my job. I go have a look. There's big mulch piles around, so you can't see shit. I go out from behind it, and they all just fucking take off. And if you don't know about kangaroos, they usually travel in a pack with a couple scouts out to the side, and it's just like 15 minutes. They just fucking sprint out from behind. I'm just like, I think I'm gonna die.
Killed by kangaroos.
You hit one of these things with a car, your car gets fucked and it hops away. Like, these things are big and heavy.
I know they will kick you. They do their little kangaroo kick.
It's worse than a deer. Like, it's just like, holy shit.
Kangaroos are
Oh.
beasts.
I want there to be a pack of kangaroos in the
I'm
United
sitting there
States.
with the spotlight going. And it's just going.
Kangaroos are just. They're just looking at you with their beady eyes and hissing like. Their bulbous eyes. Their
To be fair, I was kind of in their habitat, but it doesn't.
And then they bounce away.
Exactly. They just
They
fucking
make-
take off. I don't know. They're still like a marsupial sort of creature, so there's a lot of kind of like squeaks and weird noises, a lot of throat
Okay.
sort of heavy sort of stuff. It's all over the place. But most of what you hear is look, 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 look. That's what you hear. It's them hopping away.
They
I like
come
how
in,
he- I
they
like how
wreck
he-
it, and hop away.
I like how he tells this story all casually and with a typical David grin on his face. Like, no big deal.
It's no deal.
Well, it was fun to tell everyone else because there was like 15 of us on site, and I got given the position all the way off by myself with no lights, no people around me, just sitting on the machines going. I got 14 hours to not fall asleep.
I think they're gonna
And
break
then
into your
kangaroos.
house.
Yeah. Oh, and it did make it worse too, because the whole like beginning of the shift, they're hyping. You know, people were over the top of the thing with hang gliders taking pictures, and they're totally coming in tonight. And so I'm ready to fucking go around the mortar pile and just kangaroos.
What is wrong with you
Oh,
Australian
I
people?
checked out. I checked out. There was no one left.
Well, that's your Australian news, everyone.
There you go. Weird,
Oh.
weird shit happened in Australia.
Weird shit always happens in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you get to hear about it.
That's
First
true.
hand account.
That is true. We got our source, our Australian source sitting right there.
So, Garth, how'd you almost
Australia
die this
correspondent, our official Australia correspondent. Mr.
week? We
David.
have one of those. That's awesome.
We should start
Senior
like
Australia correspondent.
Just walk around being like, this week from Australia.
Australia,
Wrestle some
the
cross.
silent killer.
we need to
Silent
like
word.
start going through and being like, and now for movie news, we're gonna send it over to Ray Talk.
That was way too cutesy for the shit I'm about to talk about, though.
Yeah.
Because like this week, as far as movie and TV goes, it was like, it's pretty much almost entirely horror, which, yay. Is it October yet? But, so, Sunday, like, just passed, The Strain happened. I caught it, and it was excellent. Honestly, this doesn't look so much like it's setting up for a TV series. It's looking more like it's setting up for just a really, really long Del Toro movie.
As in, like, the books?
Yes, as in the Guillermo del Toro vampire, worms in the blood, horrible, horrible things.
It's essentially like a
Awesome.
sci-fi vampire story, right?
Kind of, but they really do incorporate a lot of the old elements, and they make it very much like it's a vampire story too, because there's coffins involved, and there's the whole can't cross running water thing, and there's a. It probably didn't come off this way as much in the books, but there's totally a Van Helsing character, and like the crazy old man no one believes until it's too late sort of thing. But the effects that they do is excellent, and just it's Del Toro, so the creatures are going to be excellent. And the most creature you've seen so far is this horrible thing in a robe, so you don't actually see it yet. It's got a Nurgle vibe going on with it, but it was a slow build up to a massacre at the very, very bad thing happened to a medical examiner. And it was really good. Like, the tone is super serious. They're building the characters very well. And there's no way I'm not going to catch every episode of this. And they've got a bunch of neat people too. Like the guy who does the Van Helsing character is the guy who played the janitor in the Harry Potter stuff.
Huh.
The
Interesting.
janitor?
Yeah.
Old dude with a cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah. The groundskeeper.
Yes.
The
Yes.
students are out of bed.
Groundskeeper. And just everything that they got going on with it, between like the tone, how they shot it, and just how serious they're taking it. This is just a very long horror drama, which is probably going to last for a very long time, knowing that there's 3 books for them to cover, and it does actually have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it looks like they're just going to make the books happen on screen, which is very rare for TV to do. Normally they'll just milk the hell out of it.
Well, I was gonna
Or-
say, isn't Del Toro actually doing the TV series, or are they
He's attached
adapting?
to it. He is attached to it. I
Okay.
think he's an executive producer.
I was gonna say, because if that's the case, I would almost expect him to go, like, verbatim for what the books do, because he wrote it.
Never mind, he is one of the 4 directors, so he's way into this.
Okay, then yeah, I would
The other
pretty much
3 guys
expect
are
it.
people he really knows too.
Makes for some good watching at least.
But
Yeah.
It is going to be excellent. So that's on FX. It's going to run on Sundays. So definitely keep an eye out on that one. As far as other horror news goes, and this is still serious, but way more lighthearted and more tongue-in-cheek, thanks to the job perks, I got to take a first look at NBC's Constantine, their pilot.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Wait. Are we talking in, like, they're bringing back Constantine, like, the aspect... I'm not saying Keanu Reeves, but, like, the aspect of that movie?
Well, first off, Hellblazer is what it's called, has been a comic book since the 80s.
Right.
He's actually an Englishman, and most of that stuff happened over in England, and he's very much a cheeky douchebag about it, but yes, we're talking about the Exorcist guy who was in the Keanu Reeves movie. That's the character.
Yeah.
My only complaint about this whatsoever is because of it's NBC, they don't actually show him smoking a cigarette, which he did constantly. They show him putting one out once, but they don't actually show it. But the rest of the show hits lots of really good horror elements, but they don't take themselves too seriously. The effects are fantastic. The jokes are really funny. But I think there was a point where somebody was reading someone's fortune cookies, and like the lead female went, "In bed." What? You have to add "in bed." I'm like, okay, this is what this kind of show is going to be like.
Oh, wow.
It's good though. It's very funny. The pacing is like a freaking speed metal band. It hits really fast and it hits really hard. Maybe a little too fast, but there was not a thing bad about it. They got Matt Ryan doing Constantine, and he's doing pretty good at it. He's been in a couple of things. Oh, well, what do you know? He was in, well, what do you know? He was the voice actor for the pirate lead in Black Flag, Assassin's Creed.
Awesome.
Ed Ken.
Edward Kenway. Yep.
Yeah, Ed Ken.
So now
Oh,
he
dear
goes
God,
from being,
Nano.
Good old Kenny.
going from being Edward
Just gonna
Kenway
call him
to
Ed
being
Ken.
John Constantine.
Okay, wait. Okay, so, Nano, who are you saying of that guy?
Like me?
I'm one, because there's currently 3 guys sitting here, and if you're going to ask for an opinion like that, I'm going to go, oh dear God, you need to go watch the several of our other episodes.
Because if we're like, he was talking about Arrow, and he's talking about me. I do
I don't
actually
know
have a
who
really
that
high-
guy is referring to.
Because, let's just say Ray Tog has gone on many of rants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is actually talking about me. Wow, somebody's asking me opinions. I dug Arrow. Season 1 was good. Season 2 is even better. They did a reimagining of the Deathstroke character, and I thought they did a really good job of it. They got John Barrowman in there, who's still kicking ass, taking names, and apparently he's going to be even more important for the next season. Not as omnipresent as he was before. The Flash series I actually talked about last week. The pilot for that was good, and they did a little bit of a crossover between Flash and Arrow for the pilot episode of Flash. He shows up, haha, cross marketing, but both of those look really good. Like what the CW is doing with DC Comics stuff right now is right on par. Like, it's kind of funny. Marvel Comics have been destroying the movie theaters. DC can't seem to get a foothold in the theaters, but they seem to be doing really well on TV between Flash, Arrow, this Constantine show that just came out, and whatever else that they're doing. But
Have you heard about the lineup of movies they're gonna try to, put out over like the next few years?
for DC, I heard that
Yeah.
there was a list, but I thought that it wasn't actually officially going to be released until Comic-Con because there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of fake lists out there.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if they're realsies or not.
Right. It makes sense.
Um,
I'm curious to see if it is though. Personally, I'm just like,
I
really
know
want to know.
they're doing the Batman Superman movies happening. They've shown both of the guys in their suits, and I didn't think that Man of Steel was bad. It was a bit of a divergence in sort of a good way. Like, first off, they threw out the idea of kryptonite, which might be the best thing that they've done to Superman in a long time, because kryptonite was the biggest, lamest,
What the fuck ever. Yeah.
lamest story plot ever. Oh gosh, we've made this guy who is unbeatable unless you get this glowing green booger from another planet, or whatever.
It seems to be everywhere.
Which gets everywhere. And if you get further into it, there's all these different colors of kryptonite, and they all do different things. There's actually pink kryptonite that makes him go a little bit flamboyant, and there's fucking periwinkle kryptonite that makes him go fucking fabulous. It's gives Lois Lane tips on decorating. I shit you not, that was in a
Oh
comic.
my god, that's dumb.
It was so
What?
dumb.
God.
What?
Kryptonite is super
Yeah.
lame. But, however, Man of Steel had its problems too.
Oh my god.
My everything just froze.
It's more the New 52 type thing, and
Oh, hey, everyone's back. Yeah.
we still
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
you.
say.
Woo!
I had
but
issues where I was like,
That's good. Well, my
uh,
whole thing was just like, no.
We
It's
can't
just
lose
my side,
Australia.
my internet went out.
I think it was just Google Plus.
Something's happening over here. We're all
Yeah, I
moving.
just-
Oh god, no. Something's happening.
Stampede!
The kangaroos are back.
Yeah, the kangaroos. I was gonna say it's like a stampede of kangaroos. Make a
Um,
horror movie of zombie kangaroos. They already did it with beavers.
Zombievers. That happened.
I know, and that would have been fine if it didn't, like, the human girl didn't turn into a beaver. That was where they lost me.
I think there's a metaphor in there somewhere.
If
Ho ho!
I was about to be like, what?
Yeah,
It's one of those
What?
campy, like, B horror movies where
they
there's
weren't
zombie
really
beavers.
shy about the references. They weren't. It was so bad. Man of Steel did a couple of things wrong, though, as in they didn't get the character of Superman any kind of character at all. He didn't feel like Supes. That was the big problem. He was just some guy. And he wasn't like all of the good stories that you get about Superman. There's not that many of them, because it's normally writers have him go, Superman, punch man, he win, haha. The good stories you get out of him are the ones that pointedly identify on who he is as opposed to what he is. Because the whole point of it is you have this guy that can do anything, but he chooses to be this paragon of good. Imagine if he had a bad day and he felt like ripping shit up. Millions die.
You could.
He doesn't. Some of the better stories are just like little things, like I think it was All Star Superman, where you have him like as Clark Kent, and he's not popular at all, and his coworkers invite him to like go out to a coffee place, and they tell him the wrong place, and they're all over at this other place like, ha 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 ha, he's such a loser, and he's often the correct one he was supposed to go to. He can hear all this, but he doesn't do anything about it because that's not who he is. Little things are actually pretty cool. But that's pretty much what I have for TV. And I think we've segued off of TV for a while. But box office this week, Transformers got taken down by the new Planet of the Apes.
Interesting.
I actually heard that wasn't a bad movie.
It's apparently a pretty decent movie. I mean, you have Andy Serkis coming back, doing most of being the lead ape and doing most of the mocap going on. I mean, you have Gary Oldman in there and everything he's good in. I just see Jim Gordon every time I see him now, though. So, but it got good reviews pretty much across the board. I haven't seen it myself, but it's the #1 movie in the States right now, so
Nice.
that has something to say for itself.
We still gotta
As
wait
far-
like a month before we get those movies here, man.
Something like that. As far as upcoming movies, I mentioned The Purge, the sequel to The Purge, is coming out this Friday. And that's the bit where there's a day once a year where all crime is legal and you can go apeshit and do whatever you want. And it turns into anarchy just for one day. The first one was about essentially a home invasion story on that night, and the second one is more of a this guy goes out and tries to help people on that night, and how that goes wrong. So,
I was gonna say,
Lots
if
of-
you know that night is coming and you don't want to be part of it, why not do the whole like
Get a
bunker
bunker?
yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, just
apparently most people do, but people still get caught out there, and who knows? It's supposed to be a decent one. Not a lot of actors that I'm really familiar with in that one, but it's a pretty highly anticipated horror because the first one came over really well. And there's that. The other thing that I saw going on was, have any of you guys seen the trailer for a movie called Dracula Untold?
No. What's
No.
this?
Not explain yourself, so.
I'm going to link it in the group chat so you guys can check it out. It looks like it's not a historical piece by any means, but it looks like instead of doing either the Bram Stoker Dracula story or the historical, they kind of mush it together in an epic fantasy style.
Interesting.
And that's in the chat for us. And Almir, if you would throw that into the
Will do.
Twitch chat, if they all want to check it out. They actually used the same song that they used for Assassin's Creed Unity in this trailer, which is what sold me on it.
The Lord cover of Tears
Yeah,
for
I
Fears?
think so. But it looks decent. And like by the end of it, at the beginning I was like, oh, it's gonna be another generic hero story. But this turned into a bit more of I could get behind this movie. I'll probably go see it.
One of
This
these
one looks
scenes
like-
he's in Dark Souls.
Yeah,
He's just like in this
Yeah.
crypt of just nothing but dead people.
and well, they have one of our buddies, there's a Nosferatu in here. I like to call him Grandpa Lannister. You'll see it when you see him, but it looks like it's going to be a decent flick, and I'm going to keep my eye on this one. And it goes quiet while the entire podcast watches this
Yeah, I was
trailer.
gonna say.
It kinda. I don't know if
We'll save it for later.
this is a valid comparison, but it kind of, from what you described of what it will be, like a fantasy, half historical, half the novel, and from the scenes they're showing, it reminds me of like 47 Ronin.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a mix of your epic fantasy style but it sets it in the correct like Romanian period where, you know, dealing with the Turks and all that.
I mean, that's an interesting idea. I like taking history and kind of adding a little bit of a fantasy element, so it sort of is in between. It just really depends on, because some films like to go over fantasy, and some like to do over historical, and it's hard to find that middle ground.
This seems like it leans more towards the fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
By the end of it, by the end of the trailer, I should say, definitely way into
He summons a
fighting.
swarm of bats. He's like, Batman.
Yeah. Add this to list of people we have named on this show as Batman.
Yep.
Dracula up there with
He
Ezio
just
now.
turns into a swarm of bats, not one bat, a giant
So-
flock of bats.
He summons a swarm of bats, and he holds his hand out. The bats take on the form of his hand. He punches the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
It's pretty
I
crazy.
don't know.
It's a little over the top
A little.
on purpose. So
Right.
if that's the kind of action movie you're into, it's going to be fun at least. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what it looks like. It'll be a decent story and a decent movie for it if you don't take it too seriously. But then again, what's at number 2 at the box office now? Transformers?
You mean
When
explosion
is
porn?
Huh?
What? I actually didn't hear that one.
Sorry, Kat.
I said Transformers, other words, explosion porn.
Yep.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay.
Oh,
So when is this Dracula movie set to hit theaters?
I'm actually not sure. I don't know if they've released that yet. Let's find out real fast. This is me doing my other. Yeah,
Isn't
I
it like
did.
Michael Bay movies.
October.
October.
October's the-
Oh, how convenient that the Dracula movie is coming out in October. It's almost like they planned it that way.
Almost like.
Is it 2014 or 15?
14. It's this October.
Oh, nice.
And
Wait,
as a little side note, he's the guy who plays Dracula in this was the guy who played Bard in the recent Hobbit movie,
Sweet.
the archer guy. He was also in Immortals. He did Zeus in that one. And on a slightly more note that I'm not that comfy with, he's also the guy who's going to be playing Eric Draven in the remake of The Crow, because they are doing it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Don't know
I
if
didn't
I'm
think they
happy
were
about
going.
Like they need to do that.
I didn't think they were going through with that remake, but joke's on me.
Apparently
Yeah.
they are.
Well,
You know it's gonna get a
announced.
lot of bad attention.
It will.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things that you get people who are just like, I'm boycotting this, like straight up.
Mhm.
You're gonna get your diehard like Crow fans that just go, this is blasphemy. Like there's just gonna be like,
Well,
no.
to be fair with that, I've liked that series since I was a kid. Saw the first one, and it is absolutely a classic, not just because it's a really, really good movie, but because the lead actor died making
Yeah.
it, which
Oh,
gives it
mhm.
all the more, like, makes it a bit sacred, kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about blasphemy, have you seen any of the other stuff they put out for The Crow?
Yes.
The second one,
Yes.
not good, but it wasn't the worst. It actually has a couple of good redeeming moments, and Tom Jane is really weird and hilarious in it, and then Iggy Pop is in that movie
Yep.
being cracked out of his mind. The
So
third
basically,
movie,
being Iggy Pop.
yeah, it was really just that. The third movie is more of a murder mystery, and it's got Kirsten Dunst in it. I didn't really like it, but it had a couple of cool looking scenes in it, namely because when the guy dies in the first place, they do it by electric chair, and they put him like the mask over him, and it like burns his face all up, and when he comes back to life, he peels off the skin, and that's where the marks come from on the face. They're scars.
Hmm.
That was kind of cool. little things it did was cool. And then there was a fourth movie, which was direct-to-video and easily the worst film I have ever seen in my life. The worst.
Wow.
Like, it was trying to be good, and it was the worst. Like, they have David Boreanaz, the guy who played Angel in Buffy, right? He turns into the devil. Now, I don't mean, like, okay, there's a little bit of Native American stuff going on with the Crow mythos and all that. I mean, like, Satan. He turns into Satan. And the Crow has to fight Satan. And it's horrible. But then again, they had the TV series, which is short-lived, and they had Mark Dacascos on there, who is the guy who he did Brotherhood of the Wolf. He did he's the guy who does Iron Chef now, or he was the son of the original guy who did Iron Chef, and now he's running that. He was a pretty established martial artist, and he did some stuff with that, and that show wasn't terrible. With a remake, there's a couple of things they could do with it, but because Brandon Lee died during it, they actually cut out whole portions of the movie. Like, there's a whole nother character referred to as the Skull Cowboy, who was kind of his guide, and they cut him out. And there's all these little scenes about this other guy talking about how the Crow isn't supposed to meddle in the affairs of mortals. You just come back for revenge and then you go away. That's why at points you see him with his hands wrapped up in duct tape or like electrical tape, because if he's doing stuff to help people, he doesn't heal. In the real movie, those bits are still in there because it's always shot out of sequence, but there's plot points that they couldn't do in the old movie because they even had to shoot some scenes without Brandon Lee. And they just like finished what they had, turned it into a working piece, and put it out. So with a remake, they might be able to do a more, like, tell the whole story. But you're still going to have your groups of, oh, it's classic, don't remake it. That has never stopped Hollywood before, though. So, we'll see.
And never will.
Right.
And that was a neat little side note I didn't expect on telling. So that is TV movie news for this week.
Woohoo! Now we go into the part of the segment of the news that the entire chat was like, who's the person with the anime opinion?
That
Hi
one.
guys!
One running the show.
Hi guys!
The one with the anime poster behind her.
And the anime ears on her head.
And my entire collection of manga. Right there.
Is that a Tachikoma?
Yeah, that's an Itachikoma.
With Cthulhu riding it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I want to see that happen in Ghost in the Shell.
A figure from
Cthulhu
World of
riding
Warcraft. Quaru from Neon Genesis Evangelion. The Major from Ghost in the Shell. And then Rei Ayanami from Neon Genesis Evangelion. And then this is one of the girls from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. A Daisuke clock from Dean Angel, and of course a Pokeball. So, no, I'm not into anime at all. Like, just not at all. No.
Hates it. Hates talking
Nah.
about it. Hates watching it.
So, for this week of news, I mean, I can't just. I wish I could stop saying this particular name. I really wish I could stop ranting about Funimation. But I unfortunately have to continue to rant about Funimation. Because currently, there was 2 shows that Crunchyroll managed to get a hold of for the summer collection. And it was Tokyo ESP and the 2nd season of Black Butler. Unfortunately, in the licensing agreement for Crunchyroll to show them, they cannot be English dubbed. Or subbed, sorry.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna be like, no dub. Okay.
yeah, so they can't be English subbed. When the, like, I'm like, how is that? They're showing it like every other country. You have Spanish, you have French, you have German, you have all these other languages that you can watch these shows in. But as soon as I was like, man, they have Tokyo ESP, I'm gonna go watch this. And then it was like, not available in your region. I was like, what?
They don't like us.
What? Like, you're shitting me, right? Like, what? But apparently it's because of Funimation. And it was the licensing agreement that they had, and... Sigh. But, oh well. Other than that, I'm excited to watch Persona 4, the Golden Animation, for you guys who have played the Persona 4 games and stuff like that. I've not. So, I'm interested to see this anime, because this is supposed to be the complete package. There's supposed to be another character introduced, and all sorts of interesting stuff that way. So I'm very interested. So I'm like, do I want to go play the games? Do I not want to go play the games? It's just easier to watch the anime. So, something that was brought up last week, which I'm going to bring up again, because apparently there's this really nice rumors list that, DBZ...
I really should play this.
What is
really
it?
There's Persona 4 right there.
Persona 4!
It's still... This isn't the golden one, because that was only on Vita. Although I should probably get it on Vita, too. This hasn't even been opened. I got it because it came with an art book, and this was right after I played Persona 3. I loved Persona 3 so much, and I'm like, oh god, it's on sale, and I get an art book, and I'm like, I haven't even taken this out of the plastic wrapping.
You didn't love it enough to play the sequel.
What?
That's
You
fair.
didn't love it enough to play the sequel.
Well, I'm thinking of streaming my playthrough of this, so we'll see how that goes.
That'd be a good idea.
So, DBZ live-action reboot
What?
is planned for 2015, and here is the rumored cast.
Holy shit.
Is it going to be like Keanu and Akira?
Are you ready for this? Because this is
As
like
ready as we're going to be.
what? Aaron Taylor Johnson, actor that did Kick-Ass and The Illusionist, is going to be playing Goku.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna start
I'm
throwing
out.
shit.
Okay.
Alright.
James
Yeah.
Marister, who
Again?
did Spike, as Piccolo.
Because that was in the last live action.
Why would you...
He did
Live
that.
action Piccolo is going to look so
Yeah.
weird. It's going to be like Mortal Kombat movie weird.
They didn't, like, in the last live action, they didn't even have him with, like, the antenna. They were, like, little things
Yeah.
that went back. So they're keeping James Marsters as Piccolo.
Yeah. I imagine so. Theo James from Divergent as Vegeta.
I don't know.
Now
who
this
that-
now when you're talking about the first live action, do you mean Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball
Evolution?
Evolution. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that was terrible.
It was.
This is the part that makes me go, this is really a rumored list. Because this particular name, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be associated with DBZ, but maybe. Scarlett Johansson as Bulma.
Not happening. This
I-
can't be real.
It
This
Yeah.
doesn't
cannot
work
be
at
real.
all.
Cannot be real.
cannot.
Douglas Booth. I have no idea who he is.
I don't
He's
know
an
who that
English actor who will be playing Krillin. Aaron Yu.
Right now, Douglas Booth. The hell did this guy do? He did a 2013 Romeo and Juliet. He was in Great Expectations. He's done a whole lot of nothing that I've cared about so far. He was apparently in the new Noah movie that I
Oh.
didn't see.
Yeah. So, he's going to be playing Krillin. Aaron Yu, which is Y-O-O, as Yamcha. Which is, so far, he looks like the only Asian guy, which I think is stupid.
I'll bet you money it was the same guy that was in Dragon Ball Evolution. For one reason. He was entirely out of place, but if you watch the DBZ English dub, they gave Yamcha this hilarious surfer voice, and it was just
They
bad.
did.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they
the
did.
kid was
In
in the
Dragon Ball-
21 movie.
And in Dragon Ball Evolution, the only part of the movie that actually made me laugh in a good way was the fact that they had Yamcha as an Asian guy, and he actually did a perfect bad dub impersonation. Sounded just like him. It was so funny.
Yeah. So, like, this looks to be like the only Asian kid playing Yamcha. Like, really? Garrett Hundland, as he was the kid who did what's his face from Tron Legacy, and he's going to be playing 10. I hope this is true. I really hope this is true, because this will make the movie for me. Ben Kingsley as Master Roshi.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mr. Popo.
No, Master Roshi.
Oh,
Ben Kingsley.
That's Master Roshi.
I hope that is true.
Oh my head. No, they had freaking.
Actually, with
They
Roshi.
had Chun Yao Fat to do him in the last one, and somehow Chun Yao Fat destroyed it. How? Who thought that this was a good idea?
You look so broken, James. You just look completely defeated and broken.
It's like destroying every small portion I had left of my childhood. It's gone now. It's gone now. I'm just gonna go to Australia and stab people now.
Shall I continue with
No.
the list?
Now
Why
this
not?
this is the live action version. This is not the new film, not the animated film. Because there is going to be a new DBZ animated movie.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
an animated, but this is reboot, live action
That's not a
reboot.
You can't reboot something that's not even. You can't reboot something by breaking it.
Let's continue with the list, shall we?
There's more.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Okay.
perfect response, dude.
God.
Elizabeth Olsen, I have no idea who she is, as Chi-Chi. This is something that I had to go, what? You're doing what? With who?
Why?
Jason Statham as Raditz.
Oh my God! What? What?
I'm thinking like how much of the story are they going to tell in this movie?
Just no. Mm-mm.
That's like 30
Were
episodes.
you looking for something to throw?
I'm looking
Yes.
for something to kill.
Okay.
How do you have the one badass martial artist that you've listed off so far as the most useless Saiyan that has ever lived? He's the guy that has Sonic the Hedgehog hair, and
He's worse.
He looks like a
Krillin.
Sonic fan character.
he's worse than a Cyberman. Like the little piece of
Yeah.
shit things that throw into the ground and they grow up in these
Yeah.
stupid little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like worth 3 of him.
100% completely
Ours
disposable.
cat.
Jason Statham.
Since we have a Raditz role and a Vegeta role, who's playing Nappa?
I have to know this.
Bill Goldblum. Berg.
Goldberg. Goldberg, like the wrestler.
He played
like,
the
sort-
longest yard.
So what's the name again? Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. That's what it is.
Well, he does kind of, yeah. Yeah, he does look like a Nappa, I guess, but you
Yeah,
gotta pick
that's
someone
because
who,
he's a pro
you have to have someone who kind of looks like Nappa to be a Nappa.
Like,
So, next
Yeah.
on the list is Steve Martin as Grandpa Gohan.
this can't.
Why
be
would
real.
you wait? The Steve
This
Martin?
can't be real.
The Steve
This is
Martin.
gonna be the
Yeah.
Martin
coolest
wouldn't sign
in
up
the
for this.
fucking-
Why would you get
Yeah.
someone like Steve Martin to play a character like Grandpa Gohan? What a waste of money.
Wait a
Gohan is going to be Pierce Gagnon. Gagnon. It's a little kid actor. I really don't believe this list is real, but
This
it's
can't be
I can't believe it.
hilarious.
I refuse to believe it.
You're just doing this to kill me. I know you.
You can't take much more of it.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. Because it
You've
just
already
gets,
raised his blood
it
pressure
really
like
does get
1
better.
point in his face.
Oh, I do not believe you, Cat. It does not.
Ian McKellen as Kami.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna say right now that I don't think this is real because these are way too big of talent to put into something like this.
Again, this is all just like rumored.
I know, but
It's rumored like fucking unicorns. Jesus.
Michael Sheen as King Yema.
Throwing in it.
I'm checking out, and my brain's just like, what's on my other
Waving
screen, you know?
Waving it. I got nothing else.
I'm trying to. Apparently, Christopher Sabat, which is DBZ, the world's strongest man, is doing the voice acting for Mr. Popo. So I don't think they're gonna have an actual actor for Mr. Popo.
wait, Chris Sabat? Like Funimation's Chris Sabat?
Are they gonna put an animated character in a non-animated movie?
Yeah, that's weird. Like they're just using his
It's been
voice
a long
again.
time.
Well, to be fair, he's a weird, religious-looking character.
Religious or racist looking
Well-
character.
I'm pretty sure it's out of something religious because Kami is supposed to be God, and they have a shrine up there, and he looks suspiciously Middle Eastern as far as his outfit goes. I think he's getting into like the old like gods.
I thought you were talking about Mr. Popo.
Like legit.
I am
Tommy's not
talking
racist.
about Mr. Popo.
Oh, sorry.
But like he has the whole Middle Eastern thing going on as far as his clothes go, and he's very cartoony, and like it could obviously be a racist comment if we're thinking about it in an amusing way. But I think it's like getting into the like Indian like pantheon of stuff with him. But whatever. I mean, it's goofy, and I think more people know him as like the Popo from DBZ Abridged, anyways, because that's the one.
Yeah. He will always be that to me now since I started watching that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was the list.
Oh.
It just knows better.
Something else,
That's horrific.
going back to like pure anime, there has been a total of 34 shows that Crunchyroll has put out for this summer lineup. And you know
Nice.
how many of those I'm excited for? Like 4. It
And what
really
are those
four?
sucks.
for? What are those for?
Re Hamataro,
Mm-hmm.
Sword Art Online 2, Kagami ga Kill, and then the other one was going to be Tokyo Ghoul, but they don't have it. So I was hoping for Black Butler. They don't have it. So, like, my 4th one on that list has been pretty much, like, Dramatical Murderer, which is a sci-fi-esque, like, futuristic anime, which actually seems pretty decent. Like, you look at it and you're like, so this is going to be an anime about nothing but guy characters who look overly flamboyant. And it's like, then you get
There's
down
an
to, like,
audience for that.
hi! And then it gets down to, like, it being, like, really serious and, like, an actual thing, and then they play this game. Again, with the game animes, like, it's just, it's flooding the demographic, like, right now. It's just, like, nothing but
Yeah,
people want to watch game animes, so. But yeah. Nano says, I'm excited for Zero.
Zombies had to take a backseat sometime.
What's up?
I said zombies had to take a backseat sometime.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah,
That
now
is
it's all.
true.
This game thing is a really popular subgenre
Yeah.
of anime.
I'm actually surprised that Josh didn't mention the new movie that was supposed to be coming out called the Video Game Movie.
Which one is that? Because that I've actually never heard of.
Yeah, neither.
Wait a second, hold on. Is that called? I think I actually may have heard about this.
Because I know that there
Like-
was. There was one that.
2014, Video Games, the movie.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Isn't it like a
Interesting.
making of?
It's like a
thing?
documentary kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I've heard from people who have seen it, like the critics, they say it's just sort of, it doesn't really surprise you. It seems too. It doesn't do anything impressive. It just kind of tells the story of it.
Well, yeah, I would expect.
Because I
But-
remember seeing something on Steam called Indie Game, the movie, that was more
Yeah.
or less the same thing.
No, that was actually a pretty good movie. This is the link that I found on the Metacritic page.
Ba-doop. As everyone shuts up for a minute while we read.
I mean, there's
Chronicles
not too
of
much
the
to read, but
meteoric rise of video games from nerd niche to.
While
the
you guys
multi-billion
look through
dollar
that, I
industry.
will list off. Sword Art Online is currently going through their second season on Crunchyroll. Like Alex was saying earlier, with it though, it's kind of like, Kirito looks like a girl. There's a lot of love drama stuff based on that. Nice. I think that this new game world is going to be more interesting than ALO. Much more interesting instead of the fairy world. Seeing that it's Gun Gale, and it has more of a darker kind of theme to it than like the previous game did, but we'll see.
Does Kirito realize that he actually wants to be a woman?
I
Or is
don't
he
know.
still suppressing that?
I think he's still suppressing that, honestly. If you're looking for like pure just action, Akami Ga Kill seems to be like the big thing that's coming out for this summer. It
That
actually,
looks-
it already released. I think we're on our second episode, like I said earlier, and it's really just like action gore-esque type stuff. Sengoku Basara Season 3 on Crunchyroll. I'm actually not sure. I can look that up really quick for you.
We helped the chat.
mm-hmm.
It honestly does not look like it. Because it's just the Sengoku collection right now that's on Crunchyroll. Based off of the things that we've gone through previously with the whole anime discussion is if you know it was supposed to be released for the summer season, but you can't find it on Crunchyroll, go look on Funimation, because Funimation currently, I think they played a game of like Go and was like, for every win I get, I'm going to have this anime, and for every win you get, you're going to take this anime, and then they just like split them up based on how many white and black pieces there were. I swear to God, that's what happened.
Those
Because-
guys, it was probably rock, paper, scissors.
It's
Just go. Which
Draw
one's next?
straws.
Go.
Yeah, right? Because like some of them, they made no sense as to why Funimation would randomly take this series. It doesn't fit with their normal like genre of things. Like I was shocked they had Tokyo Ghoul. Shocked. Because
But
like
you
yeah,
don't have that many horror, gory stuff.
well, Funimation has Hellsing, yes. But it's kind of one of those things that, like, Hellsing has a long history back to, like, 19, not the 2000s. So, like, I just kind of was like, for them to pick up a horror anime, it doesn't seem like their gig of things. Funimation usually sticks with a lot of, like, the family-oriented, what's good for everyone to watch, not
Anime
just...
Disney.
Really?
Yeah, it really is.
Funimation?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've seen a lot of pretty mature stuff from Funimation. They got Dead Man Wonderland.
Well,
That's-
yeah, they
That
have
was-
mature
they had
stuff.
shit censored out of that the first time it came out too.
Yeah, but, like, that's what, like, Raytog was saying earlier. Like, that's a lot of just censorship. And a lot of Funimation, like, back when, what was, can't even think what the magazine was called. I used to get subscriptions to it every single month. It was,
I mean, Dead Man Wonderland was censored at first because it was on English television. But I know that and when how they dubbed it, they just bleeped stuff out. They didn't rewrite entire lines.
Well, that's good at
I,
least.
I just feel like the thing is Funimation is considered one of the big companies in English dubbing that and anime licensing in the United States that they used to not focus so much on the more mature stuff. Like they had I think they had
opened the door to Dragon Ball. That's
yeah,
what it was.
they started with like the Dragon Ball series, and then they started getting into stuff like Full Metal Alchemist and stuff like that. But now they're such a big company that they got Attack on Titan, they got.
Whoa, okay, I didn't know that was them. Okay.
I mean, they
That's
between
not
them,
light.
Viz, and I'm thinking there's maybe one more, Aniplex maybe, but I think they're kind of more independent. But Funimation is trying to find, if it's popular, we will probably license it, because they're in close ties with like Toonami, so a lot of their stuff is on
But
Toonami.
that's what I mean though. They go after stuff that is general populace. They go after stuff that all viewers can watch. That's why I was very surprised when Tokyo Ghoul was one of their first picks. Like, I would have figured they would go after, like... Well, they can't quite go after Sword Art Online specifically, but yes, they can. It's there. Sword Art Online. Going after that. Going after Akame ga Kill. Stuff like that that's, like, general. Like, because as gory as it is, it's not... There's still comedic value to it. Like, suddenly there's the character that's like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. And then she's like, but I'll make you dinner instead. Like, they go through that comedic, like, relief, where I don't see Tokyo Ghoul really.
Well, I can see what you're saying there. It's just, I just think that there's a difference between general audience and family friendly.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, it probably has a lot to do with the licensing deals when you really get down to it, because the stuff that we're talking about now, this is all new. The franchises like Hellsing and stuff like that, they've been out there for a while. When you sign a contract, you sign it for X years. And usually those things get renewed if they still have, licensing with those guys and they're still on good terms or whatever. And that can occasionally change hands, but doesn't always. So with this new stuff, they probably sat down and they just had a big bid off. So who will give us the most money for this product? And it's like an auction. Whoever wins, wins. So it might have been stuff that's at the beginning of the auction when they have the most money to throw out. And as it goes on, you got less and less to throw out. So it just kind of winds up wherever it falls.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the shows that Funimation has on DVD now, they didn't have at first, because Geneon did a lot of English distribution, but they went under, which is why I was waiting such a long time for the second season of Shakugan no Shana, because Geneon went over, and I remember Funimation getting a hand on the license, and they said, oh yeah, the second season we're going to put it on DVD at this time, and then that never happened, and then the next year we were waiting, and we finally got news that said, finally the Geneon deal is done and we can say that this got released. And Funimation is they took a lot of what was left over from Geneon. They got Shakugan no Shana. I think that they have Higurashi, although I'm not entirely sure if they even care enough about Higurashi to re-release it. But Funimation, they picked up the spoils from everyone who went under. ADV was a big one that they took a lot of stuff on because they redistributed Excel Saga. So I think that the fact that there are fewer licensing companies means that Funimation has to be able to cater to those markets, because no one else really will. It's an open market for them, and they can take advantage of that. And I think that's why they went after Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Financially, they're kind of the big dogs too. So if they can get it,
you gotta, especially like looking at it, Crunchyroll doesn't really. They're just a streaming site. They don't go any further. They are just streaming. So based on like sort of the profits of it, I would almost see Funimation being like, hey, look, like, we're going to outbid you on everything. We sell it, we produce it, we dub it, we air it. Like, this is Funimation, welcome to the world of anime. They have their own TV network.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot like if you're looking at Crunchyroll, like Netflix or whatnot. Then you have all these, like, say, Game of Thrones, which is an HBO show, and they have their own proprietary little streaming system now, like what Funimation just put up. And Netflix can't get any of that because they own it, they produce it, same thing.
yeah, and then, like, for looking at, like, the anime seasons, though, I don't understand why it would be such a battle between, hey, look, you have to have a Funimation subscription. Hey, look, you have to have the Crunchyroll subscription. Let's just, like, say, hey, look, here's part of your viewership. Here's this anime. We'll air it. You get part of this revenue. Like, end of story. Like,
Well, that would mean businesses would have to play nice together
yeah,
instead of
that's,
getting all over the
Never
money.
gonna happen. Ever.
yeah. But right
That's
now,
right, man.
I think this summer season is kind of, it's put a sour taste in my mouth a lot. So I will continue to watch the 3 or 4 shows that I am, but I'm not going to really go much further. And if I'm going to watch an anime that Funimation has, I can guarantee you I will be finding it other means than going to Funimation to get it. Because I do not want to support them at all at this point. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done with my rants of Funimation. You're screwing over my licensing agreements to watch my favorite animes.
That
Yeah.
explains the DBZ movie rant. That was your kick in the dick to Funimation. What it was.
I mean, it's really the job that Funimation does as far as dubbing isn't that bad. I mean, I know a lot of people who hate them, and like you said, they don't just do, like, they license the anime, they produce it, they make the dubs, they translate it, they distribute it on DVD, and now they're moving. I mean, they have a lot of presence. They have a ton of booths at conventions. They're everywhere in the dealers hall. So they have presence, and they're using that presence, because I don't even think the only other major English anime production company that I know of is Viz, and they are nowhere near as big as Funimation, from what I can gather. I think that it's an extreme inconvenience that we have to use their streaming service to see these shows, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, that's smart business. It's not friendly to the consumers, but as far as making money, this is my argument with like EA and Origin. It's the same deal. I mean, it's a smart way to profit, but
they're evil.
Yeah, you're doing a very bad job of presenting yourself as a consumer-friendly company. So I can understand Kat's Funimation rage. I completely understand that. And the only way that I think that this could go away is if they don't make money from it. So right now, I think the smart thing to do is that if you don't want to deal with that, if you don't want to deal with Funimation doing that, don't
give them
deal
money.
with that. You're going to have to use other means, because it's not like you can go on YouTube and find a fan sub, because
Sometimes
Funimation
you
will say,
can.
this is a copyright infringement on Funimation Incorporated Limited, whatever.
Yep.
The rage is completely justified here. I'm not going to argue with that at all.
Yeah. But it just, I think I hit the point where I'm just like, if it's not on Crunchyroll, I'm not going to watch it. And it's anime. As great as it would be to watch certain things, I'm not going to lose sleep over it or cry about it. So, there's...
You guys happen... Yeah, it's not me.
Oh, that's me.
Do you guys happen to know what if which streaming service, if any, have the Persona 4 anime?
Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has Persona 4.
Crunchyroll does. Sweet. I'll watch it there after I play this 80-hour game.
Are you looking for the new one that just released, or are you looking for the original Persona 4?
I was gonna do the original first, just because I like watching the original first. But I know that the Golden, I know there's a lot of changes to Golden. Like I know that the voice actress for Chie is very, very different.
Okay,
all this
because right now
voice-
they only have the Persona Gold.
Yeah,
So
maybe I should get that
that's
Vita game.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing I've ever seen from the Vita that you can only get on the Vita, and it's just a re-release, slight changes re-release to a
Looks
game that
like it's
came out
on
a while ago.
Hulu.
Huh?
It looks like it's on Hulu. Yep.
The original?
Persona 4 the animation, yeah.
Who's in this?
That's on Hulu.
Oh, Yosuke.
That's actually one thing I really like, is the fact that you can look at Hulu. And Hulu is a viable option for streaming anime. Like, I really love it. It's actually really awesome. There's another website that I really enjoy that I've been looking at, like, constantly. So if there's something that's not on Crunchyroll or not on, Hulu, I will check here as, like, my second means. I don't really think they have much in the way of the newer stuff, but they have a lot of obscure animes, and I'm going to copy it in both our chat and for stream. And they've been really reliable.
Oh shit. Didn't know didn't know that I got the one with the soundtrack CD too. God.
Nice.
I did not pay
Good.
attention.
This conversation today has enriched your life in a small way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like,
I
I
do
should
want to
listen to
say, like, careful people with any streaming sites that you guys go to, always have an ad blocker on.
Oh, yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts
Yeah.
about it. If you're
Ad Block
streaming,
Plus, baby.
have an ad blocker on. So,
What if you want to support Crunchyroll?
well, no, if you
We're already
support
paying the money,
Crunchyroll,
so
yeah.
Huh. This site has a couple of the American things in there, because it's got Last Airbender and, like, some of the X-Men cartoons and like
Mhm.
Clone Wars. So it got a lot of stuff on there, too.
XLR.
nice.
I hope you do. Because that is oh my god, I love Megas XLR. It is one of the greatest shows that Cartoon Network has ever aired. Ever. Better than Adventure Time, better than Powerpuff Girls, better than Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah. Megas XLR is better. I'm surprised.
Okay.
I'm like, why am I talking about this? Because a lot of people probably don't even remember it.
Well, with
Side note,
current...
this site also apparently has Tokyo Ghoul.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I will have to go through and look.
Yep, I just found it. Confirmed.
Wow, they got a lot of
Confirmed.
stuff here. Jesus.
That's what I mean. Like, that's like... I'm like, what? This
Oh
is
shit,
amazing.
they got Space Dandy. If you guys missed the airing of Space Dandy, go watch Space
Gonna
Dandy.
do that. Gonna do that.
So, with currently now 6 minutes left, we're going to do our outros because
Hey,
unfortunately
we timed that really well.
this is the end of our show. You can catch us again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and we shall go ahead and say our goodbyes. And Cardinal, when can we find you again? Are you going to be back next week?
Yes, I plan on being here next week and for a few weeks afterwards. My plans don't appear to be changing, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be back. I'll be back to Twitch streaming. I'll be back to YouTube. Back to the podcast. Just back, baby. Back.
Very good.
Stand. Stand. Like a little kid having a tantrum, just stir. That's me.
As long as you're not stampeded by kangaroos.
Yes.
I'm in the city now, so I should be fine. But you
never know.
One of those buggers could just, anytime. So for those that don't know, you can find me on Twitter at alpha_Kaufman. You can find me at Twitch TV at Twitch/Kaufman. YouTube, just YouTube Kaufman. Thor Kaufman, anywhere and everywhere.
It's that block right there. Okay.
Yeah, it should be on her page somewhere.
Yep. So Alex, what are you doing?
I see. I clicked on a link on the anime.
Are you
Freak
looking
TV.
on hentai?
No. This
Wow, we're
see a name
streaming.
called Cat Shit 1, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of anime is called Cat Shit 1? So I click it, and I see a picture of a gerbil and a rabbit dressed in army gear, holding guns, like in CG.
Fuck.
Okay, Alex, stop now. I'm in. Give me the link.
I will give you the link. I'm like, what the, I don't understand what is this? Why is it called Cat Shit 1? Why are those animals dressed in like bulletproof vests and holding I don't understand.
They're probably going. It's a rabbit. It's two rabbits, and they're going to kill cats. I'll bet.
Why? That's
Because
so
they're in the
weird.
shit, yo, or something like that. I don't know. It looks like a military thing.
I've seen things. I've seen like.
It's
Oh my
rated.
God, that's-
It's rated for 17 plus too.
That's
So
weird.
it's not gonna be. Wait a minute. Synonyms: Cat Shit 1, the animated series, and I shit you not, Apocalypse Meow.
That's terrible.
The brave exploits of
Oh
Sergeant
my God.
Perkins and his unit of rabbits as they resolve Iranian hostage crisis. What? Okay.
Someone
Yeah.
thought that was a good idea to make.
Bookmarked.
There are probably hentai that make more sense than that.
You would know, wouldn't you?
So
No, I
we're back
wouldn't.
to that.
I said there are
Expert.
probably, which means that I have. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
I was going to mention Zone Tan on this stream, but that wouldn't have helped. But now that I'm in this deep, it's like Zone Tan. Don't look that up. That's a secret. But that was cat shit. Oh my god, that's weird. Why? That's not on Japan. Japan's not
I'm
that
expecting
weird, and
all
they
that
really.
between dudes and cats now.
Okay.
That's what I'm expecting when I watch this. Just to...
Where I am Postmates Merrick. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me there. You can go on my YouTube's channel or my Tumblr. What do I put on? I put stupid stuff on Tumblr. If you really want to see my stupid, dumb Photoshop jobs, you can go there. I also have my YouTube channel, Postmates Merrick. I'm gonna try and get another Mez Play out this week, maybe, because my schedule is gonna be a little more constricting as I won't have afternoons to do that. So there is gonna be videos there. Also, as I said earlier, I'm gonna start doing a weekly Twitch stream on my channel, Postmates Merrick Gaming, and it's gonna be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday nights. I don't know what I'm going to play. Like this time, the last one I did was just a Dishwasher Vampire Smile. I'm considering doing a Persona 4 playthrough, although I hear that this is a really long game with a lot of downtime, and I don't want to bore people. So, that might happen, depending. But I am going to be doing a stream every week, Monday at 7:30 EST, 7:30 p.m. EST. You can submit requests. Maybe I'll be able to do it depending on if I have the game or not. Visit me and badger me in the chat, please, because I want to hear how much you yell and say I'm doing something wrong or that whatever. Interact like you're doing now. Twitch chat.
Twitch chat.
So Josh, where can we find you at?
Largely still no, got a YouTube account, but so does everybody. If anyone's going to find it anywhere, it would probably be Agamath, which is is my Steam account. So if you don't has me, add me. We plays these games. We'll probably add it on this crazy podcast and on this Twitch TV and all other manner of things. That's probably it. Otherwise, WTRF.com. Find the stuff I'm working on in the Wheeling area. Because that's where I am when I'm not here all the time.
So, And as always, I am Almirmiel, aka Cat, and welcome to my channel. You can find me here mainly at this point streaming Smite and my YouTube channel, which is linked down here. And it has a lot of my recent videos, my vlogs, stuff like that. You can also find me on Twitter to find out when I'm going live, stuff like that. And Nano, yes, I heard you. So that Alex guy never seen Symbiotic Titan, huh? Is what he said in chat. And
That Alex guy.
that Alex guy.
No, I've seen Symbiotic Titan. It's okay, but Megas XLR is infinitely better. I will, you know. I mean, Megas XLR was made by the people who I think they eventually made Metalocalypse.
What?
And it has voice acting talent from Wendy Lee, Steve Blum, Bruce Campbell, Phil Strong, all of these big fancy voice actors. It's a big, big fat parody of giant robot anime in general, gaming, nerddom, all of that. And I love it. Watch it.
Bookmarked. Done.
But yeah.
Imagine
So-
Metalocalypse and Bruce Campbell. I'm in.
Normally we have another host by the name of Jeremy and Tioger. Or Jeremy and aka Tioger. But unfortunately he wasn't going to be able to make it today, so he'll be back next week. And then normally, this is so weird, like I was like, oh, we're gonna have 5 hosts at some point, and then it was like we have one, then we lose one, and it was like,
It's
okay,
always 4.
it's
So
always
whose turn is it to not show up next week?
I
My
don't
turn.
know. What?
Whose?
I don't.
We can't have
Started
that.
going
We
this.
can't carry this on our own.
Yeah, what do you think we are? Competent?
Yeah, totally. But
You
yeah.
have to
Yeah,
show
on a
up.
supporting
That's the
team, we
rule.
cannot run the show.
So yes, so he'll hopefully be back next week, and he's kind of our science guy. So he should hopefully have some interesting sciencey news for us next week. Until
Jeremy,
then,
the science guy.
Jeremy the science guy. But yes,
He needs a theme song.
he should.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that has been our show. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you decide to check out the links below to our fabulous hosts. And we shall see you again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/Almirmiel. Until next time, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
See you
I lost
around.
the game.
Bye-bye.